You are my ecstasy when you are next to me, flooding my dopamine. Stay here right next to me. Oh, you make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the sky. Couldn't call me, cover me, saw me rolling. Like whoa, you took all my love like it's stolen. Got me like whoa, yeah, whoa. You are my, you are my, you make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I can touch the sky. Every time you leave, I come down. So good to know that I need you around. You are my, you are my, you are my, every time you leave, I come down. So girl, you know that I need you around. You are my ecstasy when you are next to me, flooding my dopamine. Stay here right next to me. Oh, you make me feel like I can touch the sky. You make me feel like I
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to IG League TV. Today, we have even more games. You kind of watched this earlier today. Me and Disco watched two amazing games where Monarch definitely proved that they were going to be taking that crown for today's games. But now we have two new teams. We have the wonderful team of LAZERRFREEKS8 versus UCSC Gold. So these two teams are definitely doing it for us today. But my name is Edu. I'm joined by the wonderful Zach. Zach, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling very good, slightly cold, but hopefully these teams can bring some fire to, warm it back up. Bad jokes apart, though, I'm pretty excited for this. We do have the map set for today. We're going to be starting off on none other than Icebox here. And,
Yeah.
talking about this map, I was actually having a discussion with my co-caster from yesterday, Sword, about how this is arguably the most stale map when it comes to the meta and the agent comps. But what are your thoughts about it?
Honestly, I kind of like Icebox. It definitely forces people to start playing more lurk centric, being able to split themselves apart from where they normally like to play. Because in the newer maps of, Fracture and Lotus and especially Bind, you don't have that same kind of reliance on one person holding for a much longer amount of time on a site. Usually you have maybe one or two people per site and a lot lurking up in mid, up in kitchen. So lots of different spread thin kind of gameplay coming around here, but obviously that's how I see the map personally. I've watched a lot of Icebox games, and that's my biggest takeaway. But let's actually get right into the game here and see what they pick. And that leads me to my further question back at you, Zach. What kind of meta are you expecting agent wise to really pop out here?
I was expecting the one that the attacker picking Elevate. They've gone for arguably the most meta comp, with the exception of that Yoru, which both teams seem to be hiring over. Like, that's what I meant. I feel like Icebox, there really hasn't been much of a change except for the chamber nerf. You're seeing like more Killjoy and maybe a little bit of Cypher now, but aside from that, this map is like super stale. Like, even now, if you like when it comes to like the agent comp, I still like watching it, don't get me wrong, but I'm just tired of seeing the same Jet, Viper, Sova, Sage, maybe a KO if they're like feeling like spicing it up. But talking about spicing it up, I do notice that our defense has gone in for a double duelist, one of them being that Raze. I usually don't see Raze on this map unless someone else is trying to run a fate, so I'm very excited to see what this double duelist combo can do. I believe that, it's pretty important for these guys on defense to play for some early information, considering that they only do have that Silva. They don't have that additional buffer, that KO, to like get some more information. And I'm excited to see how they're going to be playing this, because I would expect a team to take two duelists if they're starting off on attack, but on defense, I wonder what they're going to try to pull off.
And I completely agree on this defense here. I want to see the best kind of gameplay for them, doing, the damage that really pushes these players out of their comfort zone. And again, we talked a little bit about meta here. And as you were talking about, the best meta is going to be taken out by the team of LF8. They do have, Killjoy, Viper, and, Viper is the only control agent I really consider to bring to the map of Icebox, so hopefully it is going to be enough. But let's watch, for example, this Viper Ken6 being able to now kind of solo this B point.
Ooh, right off the bat, that's going to be a little headshot that immediately is going to send them running back for a heal off the back of that, knowing that they made gotten that amount of damage onto that player. They're going to be trying to push forward onto the side here. Ethan already with the Ghost holding up a pivotal angle on top is going to try and pay a pick, but it's going to be Bruno towards mid. In fact, finds that first kill and then rotates back over. The Lucio strikes back with kill off their own with a beautiful headshot through the smoke off the back of that Sheriff. Never mind, it's a 5v3 right now. The remaining three players are all going to be trying to play this postman. The wall comes through, and so is the stick right now. Not much that you can really do with utility here. Tom does try to go around through the micro smoke, but it's not going to work out. And just like that, it's going to be almost flawless diffuse coming through, and an excellent retake as well off the back of that. So I think that answered my question. It doesn't matter if they have to do this; they're still going to like be able to do quite a good job. But it's only the first round.
Yeah, it doesn't quite matter what kind of, double duelist. I don't really think that double duelist is what you want on the map of Icebox. I truly believe that double sentinel or pseudo sentinel, in how you have at least a sage or something here. Initiators, very powerful, but what we are seeing coming out from defense side is that double duelist really bringing the heat, especially the Jet here, being able to consistently do that damage. But this is going to be a full save. Ever since the Stinger did get nerfed to the ground, we are going to be seeing something a little different come around in the second rounds.
Yeah,
Ooh.
no more full armor force every single round. It's must be a relief for people who actually like win the round, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, either way, again, it's gonna be Bruno taking a little bit of a walk down towards mid, gets some information with the boom bar and gets the kill off the back of it as well. It's gonna be a slaughter down towards mid here as 3 players converge on the area. The spike dropped in no man's land as well. This last player, Killjoy, just playing inside kitchen, trying to do a little bit of damage here. Does have that frenzy to work with, but won't be able to unfortunately connect the shot as Runa will get the second on the round and a flawless to boot. These guys are really doing a great job right now. Not gonna have any rifles online though for this next round, so that might be the game changer that the side of LFS really need to try and make this round work. Because so far, nobody except the bully has gotten a kill.
Yeah, not a single kill except for Bully on the map here for LF8. But this is the buy round coming around. We are going to be seeing those rifles and armor. Unfortunately, no armor on the Viper. I think that might be a misplay because if this control agent goes down, they don't really have a lot to secure the post-plant scenario here. That's why I always opt in. If you're a Viper player, give the bomb to somebody else, let them plant it, and then work that post-plant, especially when you have also a Killjoy to help you.
Yeah, I completely agree. You really do want to try to play off site to get that down. Right now, though, they're going to be struggling to make their way onto site here, despite having the weapon advantage, because the rotation has been super quick. 4 players right now from the defenders have made their way over towards the site with the great variance of weapons, starting from a Marshall to a Bulldog. Bruno starts things off, but again, another Sheriff headshot, but immediately the trade is there. It seems like the attackers are aware now of this rotation having come through. Ethan is going to be remaining for some sound cues to see if he can do some damage here. And unfortunately, though, he's going to be falling to Killer Cropped. And that's going to be that. The remaining 3 players are heading over towards this B side. Egg W is those quite aware of it. Will hear the sound cue coming through. Tries to swing and connect that shot with the Spectre. Not quite working out. Expects the pushback though, and just like that, it's going to be a 2v4.
Wow, a 2 versus 4, making it 2v3. Bloomy is going to be able to get down Egg, but this post plant, it's just going to be these 2. Obviously, these are the agents that you want in this position, but it's going to have to also come down to the aim, and it just doesn't seem to be in the hands of Bloomy right now. But look at that Sage, very up close and personal. It's going to be Killer Cropped, able to grab Saki down. They're ready for another. I do like the wall position. Might be able to benefit, and Bloomy is going to be able to get one, but they lose this buy round, and the bonus is going to go over.
Killer Crop definitely doing some killer things, starting things off on that A side, you know, being able to pick up that upgrade, and of course just closing out the round with a great round coming out of the defense here. And I really like that Killer Crop went for that reclear onto that A side, despite the sound cues coming in. You know, usually do have one person lurking around trying to like get the drop on teams, and it seems like he was more than aware of it. So a great round coming out of the defense, really close though, like you mentioned. And I feel like they just didn't have a chance to like go in for that post plant here. Unfortunately, though, that loss is going to like demolish the economy for LF8 here. You do see some sheriffs across the board, Marshall as well on the jet, but not much else that they can really work with. Saki though might be able to buy a Phantom considering that they have enough money for it, but that's about it.
Yeah, and you know, we are seeing them have decent amount of money, but Bruno up close and personal is going to be able to grab that one pick, and hopefully it is going to be enough, but it's going to be Ken6 up top, and they're working their way through it. Defense already did a great job taking out those 2 players, and it's going to make this push a lot slower than the attackers really wanted, especially since there are only rocking, you know, moderate buys here. But from behind, that's going to be the transfer. Lelouch goes for it, but Bloomy is the last player, and always good for at least one. Will be able to pick up another, but it's a 1v3. Spike is down. This Killjoy needs to do whatever they can to clutch it up.
It's looking really difficult right now. You can hear the crossfire around the Spike here. Is aware of the positioning from behind, but the Sage's drop will be a bit of a distraction, and just like that, Ken6 is going to be able to get that final kill as defense, they extend their lead to 4-0 right now. Though I'm seeing quite a few ults online right now for LF8. They do have that lockdown if they want to force the issue on that A side, get themselves on it. I think that they also do have that Viper Spit if they can actually get the spike down. So that's going to be 2 major ultimates that can easily like win the round for them. For the opposite side, I think that they have the Resurrection online, or they're very close to it. So that's going to be an ult that the defense can really like capitalize on and try to get. They also have that Showstopper, which can prove to be pivotal because, you know, when you hear a race satcheling at you screaming fire the hole, it immediately stalls things, man.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. You hear it, you don't know where it's coming from, and it is what does the most amount of damage in the game is a 1-tick burst. But now it's going to be this one. Ethan up close, taking a little bit of damage from that nade. Unfortunately, not able to go too far away from it. but the defense, they are in that clean advantage spot. As you said, as you pointed out, a lot of ultimates on the table. They were already able to take out one of the ults in the hands of Killjoy, Bloomy, and that's also the top frag. So, we're going to have to see something pick up for the pace here. LF8, Ethan not really doing too hot. 0 and 4 as that entry fragger, needs to try to pick it up if they want to be able to get this hit. This is, of course, a buy round coming out from them.
I like how they played this because they expected the Killjoy to come in immediately. You see two players pushing forward, and it seems like Ethan heard you there. He just does get that entry pick onto the side, taking down Bruno. But Lelouch is good for the trade as he says, I can be the only Jet in this particular round. Get off my lawn, and pushes him away. These last three players, they're going to be trying to just hold right now. It's going to be Bully. Unfortunately, not quite finding the timing here. Staying alive though still, and the flank is good from Kensix as he gets two of his own. That is going to be an almost flawless yet again as they extend their lead to 5-0 right now. Again, the economy in a so-and-so place, they should be able to force up, and that's going to trigger a timeout here from the attackers. Talking about how Elevate is playing this, I just feel like they seem to be playing a very individualistic game. You don't see it just seems like they're a little bit uncoordinated, maybe because they're just starting out. It's only been the first couple of rounds. Sure, that could be it, but there just seems to be no synergy. Like, for example, in that round where they didn't have their full buy, I just feel like the callouts are very late. Like, they weren't able to trade each other properly, and I feel like if they can just improve that a little bit, they might be able to do so much better.
Yeah, I really do believe so as well. If they could just hold that down, they will be able to push everything out of the way. But I really do like what we're seeing from, the defense here. Players like Lelouch consistently being able to do it. The fact that the Sage has yet to go down, that honestly, it might be a blessing and a curse though, because if you had this Sage gone down, their ultimate would have been available a little bit earlier, and that's the thing. They're only getting the orbs and the picks to actually be able to get their ultimate online here. So it might be a blessing and a curse for him, but at the same time, if your team doesn't die, you don't really need to have that res anyways, and they're proving that. However, if we're going to talk about a team that is dying quite a bit, it is going to be that attack side. LF8 having a lot of issue pushing through choke points, especially against players like Lelouch and Bruno. Just their AoEs are so clean, and if they bite their time and bite their tongue, they are going to be stuck with a flank developed by players like Kensix.
Yeah, Kensix has been consistently getting the drop on the rest of these players. His timings have been immaculate over the course of this map. Again, you can see Bruno coming up, holding this really aggressive position, trying to get some damage here. He's done this before, and it seems like it's going to be a thing once again. The Molly comes through. Off the back of that, it is going to be Bruno trying to push through. Not quite able to connect the shot, but it's okay, as the Killjoy lockdown being able to sit towards that A side is going to trigger rotation over right now. You can see Bully holding for anybody peeking, and they're going to be investing a lot in this round. In fact, both the lockdown as well as that Viper spin are going to be used as the spike goes on. We're looking at a full 5-on-5 retake here. No obvious advantage towards the defense here. We have something that Showstopper, which has just been popped. Finds the Viper immediately, and just like that, the pace of the round completely changes.
Wow, facing it up, and it is going to change a little bit, but unfortunately, while that weapon's up, it's not going to be enough. There's a double, make it a triple for Bruno, but here's Bloomy, always the last player standing. It's the KJ, needing to try to buy some time, but there's no utility outside of this turret to try to buy it away. And right behind that wall, are they going to be able to spot it out? What? He gets it, almost an ace. That's the kind of gameplay you want to see, but it's not enough.
They're really bad. If there was an error around that team deserves to elevate additional one that just for Bloomy already, like, he used his own last one, he already almost tapped it back. Just a testament to how powerful that Killjoy can be if you're going to be farming up those orbs and those kills. But unfortunately, despite all that commitment of utility and economy and everything, it's just going to be a round loss coming through for the side of Elevate. Again, not much to work with this time around. The economy as well in the dumpster, so they're going to be forced to play with these sheriffs. And of course, again, just the way that their opponents are playing on this defense, they are getting so aggressive and constantly being rewarded for it. It just seems like Elevate is not ready at all for these kind of pushes or this kind of damage coming through every round. Early mid information again through that drone, and the swing off the back of it, Bruno able to get one, doing a bit of damage as well before finally falling back. And just like that, again, in the first 15 seconds of the round, a massive disadvantage.
Yeah, massive disadvantage. We're already seeing a beautiful entry here. Players like Bruno are just so aggressive. You talked about having that aggression from the defense, and they bring it rushing mid pretty much as an entire 5-stack. Obviously, you did see them come from different angles. You had Kensix on the flank, but at the end of the day, it is just hold W, hold left click, and things will die. In that kind of game mode, it definitely feels like these guys are not taking the enemy seriously. But again, do you have to when you're up 7 rounds and you are winning? winning regardless of how many ultimates you have. But let's talk about those ults. We've got 2 available. Blade Storm just in case, but I don't think Lelouch is going to be using that Blade Storm for quite some time, considering he's got max creds and an absolute ton of kills regardless.
Yeah, again with that early aggression, they're going to be pushing both mid and A. You do see a bit of a default coming out right now from these players. Lelouch having made his way all the way into the spawn almost gets massive value. 2 kills already, 3 on the round, possibly because they're shot, and that's going to be huge right now. The flank, the spike as well in his possession. Sees the last players unfortunately not able to quite flick over to Ethan's head, but still it is going to be Ethan finding 2 of his own. He says, if you can do it, I can do it too. It's 2 on the jet. Bruno though is still ready to flank, and now it's all done just Ethan here. 1v3 has gotten 2 so far, but that's gonna be it, as it's gonna be 8-0 right now. Just the fact that despite having a killjoy, they keep getting flanked so often. It's so unfortunate that the bit of a default. It seems like the team was expecting it. That they were expecting them to be in spawn, and they just pushed again on both sides. I like how they push. They don't push just mid, or they don't push just A. They push across the map, and it's so much information, and it just leaves LFate not sure where to fight first.
Yeah, and you know, that's true. How these players have been pushing out, they have not let anybody on the T side die anywhere near the actual site. That's how powerful their push is. You know, it's been outside of their spawn almost every single round here.
Yeah, I like how as soon as you said that, you see Bruno running towards the spawn and then reconsidering, and he's like, okay, let me play with the team for once. But yeah, this seems like a round after a while we're finally going to see the attackers make their way onto site here, or have a chance at it. Ethan again has the dash ready to go, will possibly get inside, but again, the push through to the smoke, Lelouch will be able to find Saki. That's a huge kill, that Viper going down. I think that they do have the Resurrection available or close to it, so that might be a change coming through. In the meantime, Killer Crop though pushes through, is able to take down Bully, a huge kill there, and off the back of that, it's going to be the Resurrection coming through. Immediately, this team is more than ready for it. The Hunter's Fury being invested to take down Bloomy there, finds that kill, might even get more. A 2v3 situation right now. Spike is in no man's land. The Resurrection comes through again. They're trying to go for the kill, but it was just a bait as Killer Crop will close things out. Oh my god, 3 players still left standing, and again, the spike doesn't go down. I think we've seen the spike go down exactly once so far in that pistol round.
You know, I do like that from them. Now 9-0. What we're seeing here is confidence, and it's definitely flowing from them. The fact of the matter, most of these rounds are going down just from getting the elims. Yes, the bomb eventually gets planted, but only 3 times has it ever hit the site, and that's kind of stressful. But we do see that the attack has some really powerful, you know, post-plant and pre-plant ultimates. Maybe they can use the Killjoy ult, and then they could use the Sova ult. But, you know, they're going to have to put a lot of investment in here if they want to be taking rounds like this. But Ethan finally becoming that open frag, the one that really just opens those doors and gets their teams on that site, is now getting those down. And I think this might be winnable for the attack if they just keep up like this. And Ethan gets another clean headshot. There goes the bomb on the plant. Egg is going to be able to zap a few little bits of damage, though. And it's a 5 versus 2. This is the best round that they've had so far.
By far, like you said, and of course it's just Ethan that made the difference in this particular round, being able to get 3 kills almost like right off the bat of the round. They're also going to be investing that lockdown to be sure that they'll be able to do it. Killer Cross pushing out, gets 1, but unfortunately they have to reload at the worst time. And again, the swing from XW not quite doing the job here. And just like that, it's going to be the first round coming in for the attackers here. If they can get 2 more, I'd say they have a decent chance on defense considering the team comp they're running. But again, it's going to be Ethan who manages to open up the site. A lot of these rounds, you do see that the team just looks unprepared for the aggression coming out of the side of UCSC there. But right now, it seems like they finally have their measure, at least a little bit. You did see that Ethan was more than prepared to just dash to Bruno's face, almost free fire that angle over the back of the previous round. And now Lelouch, he's gotten this. He's gotten that operator online.
Yeah, getting that op online. We are seeing the knives also being brought out by the attacker, but Ethan, he's going to have to take a seat right now to the enemy jet. This is the player that you don't want to fear or don't want to have to play against. It's 13-5. But I do like this attack now having to rotate around, get themselves onto that B point if possible. And we are seeing an ultimate develop by the Viper, just trying to hold that back, push these players off the site. And if they have to rotate to A, they know that their A hold is not looking too clean.
Just a Sage on A right now. 2 players again pushing towards mid, and Lelouch having rotated over towards the CT here. taking care of Boomy. So that's 2 kills off the back of that operator. It is going to be Tahid tries to find some value inside that Viper's pit, who immediately gets caught off guard by Ken6 there. This brutal crossfire between the Viper and the Jet, just demolishing the side of LF8 right now. The spike dropped in the open towards yellow, and it's all down to just the Viper. Saki getting that first kill to Bruno on the flank, but it's not ready for the second player. EggW cleans things up, 10-1. It seems like they took that previous round loss almost personally, looking at how aggressively they were going for this one. Like, that was more aggressive than usual, and that's like me saying a lot there, considering how they've been playing the rest of this match so far.
Yeah, I completely agree. The way that they've been playing this map out is just aggression, hold W, and it works. That's the power of these players, and I do like that their defense, it varies between anchoring the site as a whole team or push together as a whole team. It always just comes down to the team play here, and it is really clean how they have been able to group themselves together. But this is the last round of the half. Ken6, now only person on B. Well, you can already tell the communication is key with all these players rotating so early to make sure that they can be able to help their Viper out, help their buddy. But this is where we're going to see the bomb finally getting planted yet again. And we are seeing the attacking ult coming out from the Viper. But oh, the showstopper is not going to connect this time.
Yeah, Saki managing to stay alive, that's huge. That Viper's pit could be the win condition for this particular round. Again, though, the caution that they're trying to like really bait out a lot of utility here. Where the HP on the Viper is so low there. Ken6 in the meantime will be able to get one. The Boombox getting another as well, just utilities at this moment coming through, making this work right now. All down to just the stage, a 1v3 situation. And does have the resurrection as well for the bait, and swing will be good. Killer Cropton will definitely prove that he's a serial killer here as they get another kill. 11-1, an absolutely dominant defensive half. And this is from the side with 2 duelists. So if that's them on defense, I'm kind of scared to see them on attack right now.
Yeah, I'm terrified to see them on attack, and this is also an attack-sided team composition. They want to be able to just jump in. The double duelist, the initiator on the Sova. The only thing that they really have that slows them down is the Sage, but even how this Sage is playing, look at them. Taheen here, or not Taheen, Killer Cropped is 12-4. There is no slow in these players' vocabulary, and, you know, with that being said, I do also want to point out, I think that the biggest misplays we're seeing is who is the bomb carrier here for the side of LF8. We watched as Saki tried to plant that bomb over and over again, but you're the Viper. Don't plant. Let your teammate plant that bomb, because if you go down, your entire cover is down. And, you know, little mistakes like that, they add up, and it seems like they've added up 11 times here.
It's a great point you made there. It seems like the same problem is going to be Bruno on the spike carrying here. That's how the spike makes a lot of noise towards his B side, and it seems like they don't want to force the issue anymore. They know that they're probably going to trigger a successful rotation. The 2 players lurking over towards A, the Viper and the Sage, both know that, yeah, this side is pretty clear, guys. Free real estate. Through the smoke, doing a lot of damage to poor Tahin as well. And now the game is up, the jig is up. They know that A is going to be where the spike is possibly coming through, but already the entire side has gone. They managed to get the Sage roll to a CT there, so that's huge right now, and that's basically going to be a free plant. Already Killer Crops on Raptors is able to swing out, get 1, possibly get 2 here. Spots 2 players and will be falling back. And now all they have to do is hold. The right click is immaculate, and it's all down to just the Jet. Once again, Ethan in a very rough situation, not quite able to connect the shot, and it's going to be EggW who takes it home. Match point in map number 1 for the side of UCSC. Yeah.
That BMing. It's always the bottom frags, if you ever notice, that always like to BM the most. EggW here, putting the W down in absolutely, you know, a little bit of BM with the teabag onto the body of Ethan there. But honestly, is it earned is the question, because sometimes you get a BM if you're absolutely taking it. But again, you know, we always wish that people have fun, and I'm just hoping that people on this side of LF8 are having fun in game 1, because I know they're going to be rocking it in that game too.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're having fun there. I'll be honest with you. This time it's going to be them taking the initiative, going for a full-on push here. Saki with the Bucky of all things, the pain just and the slow combo as well, doing a lot of damage as Bruno and Killer Prop definitely go huge right now. Tahin stuck in this awkward corner here, and EggW is aware of it. Goes for the shock dart kill. It's all down to just Ethan, who's been struggling to kind of show up in this game, and it doesn't know where to look. As Ken6 will wrap around through mid and demolish this defense. 13-1. They won 1 round over the course of the entire map. I think that's like the least close map we've had over the course of the day. But hey, maybe it's just warm-up troubles. You know, it is Icebox. Maybe their hats were cold.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, Maybe warm-up troubles is definitely one way to phrase it. You know, you don't want to bring warm-up troubles into week 2 of a
Yeah,
division here, and you know, this late into the opening of how we've been watching these games develop, you can already tell that there is that little bit of a knockdown coming around here. And if you are on the side of LF8, you're gonna have to do something different. You know, their name is Laser Freaks, and I want to see them, you know, have that laser precision, that accuracy come out to do the damage if possible. But of course, that's Icebox. I always say this, Icebox is not a standard map that people normally bring to the table here, especially at this level of competitive. So anything can really happen as we move on to another map. I think Fracture has been now taken into that big scene. I think it's one of the main picks now, especially due to those changes, now making it quite a balanced map, in my opinion. You know, and having those rotations, if possible, are pretty important. But we are going to Fracture. And my question to you, Zoc, is Fracture something that we might see a completely different type of team here for?
I really hope so, because this one it just looked very, very difficult for them. Hopefully, like they managed to figure out a better team comp, and I think more than like the team comp, it's about coordination, because it just felt like they weren't able to like really play coherently as a team. There was just a lot of solo peeking. Like even in this last round, it was just extremely chaotic. Like if
Mm.
it's like the difference between like a bunch of sharks trying to attack like I don't know, a single fish in the sea and like a school of tuna just swimming around aimlessly. That's what watching that game felt to me like. But hopefully
Yeah.
they can fix things around in game number 2.
Yeah, they were absolutely hunting there. And talking about game number 2, we are going to be allowing these players to take a little bit of a break there. You know, sometimes you have to take a deep breath. 2 minutes here. So we will be seeing you guys in just a little bit of time in the game itself on the map of Fracture. And of course, LF8 still on attack. And we have the wonderful team of UCSC Gold on defense. So we'll see you guys in just a moment with that new map. So stay tuned. Minari takes him down. Only one bullet, decides to reload right in front of Green. Tries getting it halfway, and he actually sticks it all the way to half. And he makes those Young Min with the win. What a clutch. On one, but they're out. But here comes the nightmare. It's making them very afraid. Spike is now down. Lucky holding that W key. Getting a double kill with the spray down. This man's ready to go, and it's all up to Zell. He sprays it down, but that nade, it's doing some work. He doesn't know where this Reyna could be, but Reyna's giving away her position, and Lucky getting a 4K with one spray and then a clean clutch up. And right now, Truly, with this tour de force, is going to spot one and only able to get it, but that's going to be a double, and that's a triple. God. That's what we like to see.
Handedly! No!
Bring them back into this game. Are now going for it. The ultimate's now pushing in, and all the dumpage. Lemon able to get a just mow down of a spray, getting all these picks today.
Yeah, I mean, and this is exactly the thing that we want to be seeing out of Lemon. He's going for the ace here, and he's going to try to close it out with the overdrive. Ace for Lemon off the back of really beautiful high tempo.
Let's see what's going to happen moving forward. We do have a Paranoia getting thrown out, and what a spray down. He gets himself 3. He gets himself 4. Checker, you're just better at that, and now defenders get the match point.
Oh, man. Separate the defense. Oh, no!
And the spray down B.
It's got to be in Fire's hands. Of course, the Vandal, very powerful, able to get himself 2 picks, and able to get all of them. What a beautiful play.
This could be tragic. Finds 2, 3, 4. Come on.
And slow things down a little bit, but now Santee in a 1v3. This is going to be very tricky. Able to find 1 here. He's going for the second one, and he's got it with the classic out. He's got to find the 3rd kill, a 4-piece for Santee. Actually able to close it out and put them up.
They're going to save it for one more.
legend. Just gonna go ahead and lock.
Alrighty, and here we are back again. Zoc, we talked a little bit about what's going to happen in this game, but what are your predictions after watching that game go 13-1?
I feel like I mentioned before, we headed into the break. Elevate, they have a lot of work to do when it comes to coordination. They really are not able to like control the pace of the game or the control on the map at all, whether they're on attack or defense. They've been struggling. To be fair, we barely saw them on the defense last time around, considering how fast that game went through. But talking about this particular map, again, the team comp that the defenders have gone for, it's a fairly aggressive one. As Lelouch switched over to that Killjoy, to that Neon, which makes me really excited because I saw like yesterday when we were playing Fracture, they were playing absolutely like just popping off both the Neons on each team. So I'm very excited to see what Lelouch can bring to the table here. Kentix on that Cypher as well. Again, with that Chamber heading out of the meta, it's nice to see some more Cypher and Killjoy getting love. And there's some absolutely disgusting trips that you can put on site that will trap whoever tries to come through. So I think both teams, they have like a pretty balanced comp. I personally do like that Raze and Fate combination there, like we talked about before. But as I think that either one can pull it off quite good. But what are your thoughts on it?
I really do like the meta shifting a little bit away from, the Agent of Chamber one off. In talking about Cypher, I really believe that Cypher is the best Sentinel for any map on average, but for this map specifically, KJ has to be that Sentinel, the one that's always at the top, especially because of B site and the power of the lockdown. And that's kind of what I want to be seeing here is, how are these Sentinels going to be able to compete against each other? Is it going to be the Cypher popping off because he can hold multiple angles, or is it going to be the KJ for that insane lockout potential?
Yeah, personally, I've loved the Killjoy on this map. Like, considering Fracture also has 4 ult orbs, you can really, like, farm it up. But if we're going to see the first fight coming to any second right now, it's going to be Tahin with the headshot, taking down Killer Croft there. Huge kill there. And that is going to be the first blood. Again, going to the side of going to the side of the defense here. And that's going to be the smokes down as well. So that's going to make things incredibly difficult right now. Still, 4 players left, looking very healthy. The Killjoy looking really low. If they can get that first kill, it's going to be huge. And 4 players in tower. If XW can start things up well, it might be what they need.
I mean, wow. The fact that XW was able to walk away from that after getting that beautiful transfer with the frenzy there was pretty clean. But unfortunately, right click is not going to be on the side of these players right now. And it's only up to Ken6. Last time we saw them on the Viper. Now we're going to be watching how they can compete on Cypher. And it looks like not at all. But here we are, and this is where we're going to be wanting to see him. LF8 already matching the same score they got last game.
I like how you said that. But yeah, they started well. Of course, them being able to take down the smokes right off the bat for their opponents was a real contributing factor. I like how quick they were to rotate as well. They were like looking around towards A. They see the Neon around. They hear the breach set, and they're like, look, we know there are at least 2 people here. We gotta pick on that B side. Let's book it over real quick. Get the fight for free. Get the plant down. And again, like just the fact that there were multiple players towards tower ready to trade each other out and like play methodically. That's like a huge kudos to them because it seems like they've already learned a little bit from their mistakes. Right now, they're gonna be buying up a little bit more considering that they did win the previous round. As for the side of USSC, they're not going to have much money. It's going to be Lelouch trying to push up here on that Neon, but it's just going to be the Raze lurking out here. The trade is there though, so it's still a 1-for-1.
Yeah, 1-for-1 for sure, but damage is going to be taken quite a bit by the Skye. And if it is the Skye taking the damage, can't heal herself, only can heal others. So that is going to be a little bit of an HP deficit for the defense here already right off the bat. And look at these attackers. They do have that weapon advantage, but Ken6 might be able to just time this perfectly, is going to get stunned. He will be able to spot out one, but Tahin is not the kind of player to get diffed here. But Killer Crop is going to grab Bully down. Spike is going to drop, but they managed to pick it back up. 2 remaining versus 3. This is going to be a very hard win, especially when they don't really have the best kind of weapons here.
Yeah, they did pick up that Spectre, which one of the players dropped right now. It's going to be actively going down, and Bloomy holding the off angle. The MVP on the Killjoy over the course of the previous map, switching over to the Fade. That's to play a little bit more aggressively, and you can already see that coming in. Yes, yes, going in very aggressively. That fade line, that fade voice line, perfectly exemplifying how they've been playing so far. Which it's only been 2 rounds, but definitely a huge improvement. They already doubled their score from the last stuff. You want like an even more fun statistic there.
Yeah, doubling it. This is already a team that's twice as good as they were last time, and we're actually seeing that. The gameplay alone is doing insanely good. This time, last time, we had every single player on the team of LF8 have a death, and only one was doing well for kills. And this is a completely different side of them. Obviously, this is a map that they would rather be on than Icebox. So I love the fact that we're seeing a dramatically different opening compared to what happened last time. Because as fun as it is to be the players on the enemy team when a stomp is happening, it's not fun to, to be the defense or to be those players just watching.
Yeah, and again, just the fact that they're able to depend on the Cypher to hold down that B site and rotate over super quickly, that's like a huge kudos for the defense. They've already lost one player though. Sorry, they already managed to get one pick as they managed to take the fade down. That's gonna be their major information agent taken down. Kensix will have all the sound kills here and all the information. A beautiful shot from Ethan though will take them down. So that's gonna be no more tripwires and everything available. Again, a very quick rotation coming through from the defenders here. They know the tower is gone. There's gonna be a breach still on site though. The neon stuns as well, enabling them to like buy even more time for more players to come over. Bully playing on site in a very rowdy corner. Might go and checks if they're lucky. Oh, but never mind. Go get spotted out just ahead. It's going to be, and Bully will be able to take his counterpart down. Bruno unfortunately being shut down. The Seekers on track for a W here after getting that kill. It's going to be Saki picking up that Phantom though, and immediately they're going to be trying to possibly go away again, but Lelouch is aware of that possibility, will be able to swing and get that kill. It's all down to just Bully here, and it's not going to be happening. With 3 players left alive, it's going to be the first round coming in for the defense here, but they did lose 2 players. That's going to be a bit of damage done, and also in the meantime, the attackers, they've already managed to work up their way too close to a lot of these crucial ultimates, including that lockdown.
Yeah, they already have been really close to getting these ultimates. 3 almost right away around the corner. Bloomy does need 2, but the thing about Fracture is there are 4 orbs on this map, so they can split up, pick up the orbs, get themselves ready, and then take the site. You have enough time to play it out like that, and that's what Fracture really does, and that's why I think Fracture is attack sided, just for the ultimate plays that can be pulled out, and the fact that this attack side does have that killjoy, it's going to make those ultimate rounds incredibly difficult to deal with if you are on defense.
Yeah, like you can literally get like that killjoy lockdown online every 2 or 3 rounds if you play your cards right. You don't even have to like get a lot of kills. It's just farming the ult orbs like you mentioned. And I feel like ultimate economy is what differentiates the good Fracture players from the great Fracture players. And so far it seems like I appreciate the attackers. They're definitely getting at least 1 or 2 of those orbs every round. They got in for a little bit of a slow default right now, waiting for perhaps some aggression, the trademark aggression that we saw over on Icebox, but that's not going to be happening. They're just depending on the Cypher to like really hold on to the A side. They're going to be rotating off the back of that. It's going to be Kensix just trying to anchor down the side with nothing but a Spectre here. Bloomy with the Haunt will possibly try to get some more information as they try to converge on the Cypher and take them out. The rest of the team is going to be making their way onto site here through the tripwire. Tries to get the kill, but the Spectre not quite able to do much damage here. Let's get a little bit though, and we're looking at a possible 5-1-5 retake if things keep going this way.
Yeah, if things are going to be going this way, but it is going to be pretty tough here. Lots of people now stuck behind smokes over in CT. We do have Bloomy now anchoring on the other side. We'll be able to spot out 1, but it's only going to be Bully from sight that gets the pick. And I like this, though. They're split off, searching for clues. Kensix is running straight on there, but that is a combo nade. And here we go. Ultimate's now available. We're going to see the showstopper coming around. People are getting knocked down, but nice showstopper. Looks like it's going to not stop anything from these defenders, and a clean retake happening with a nice amount of headshots, honestly, going all around. And that is a force round lost by these attackers.
2-2 right now as USSC bring it back to that equalizer. But talking about that particular round, it seemed like they managed to get the measure of their opponents. They were like, okay, these guys they're trying to get some information, try to get a pick, and then play together. They use a lot of utility while trying to get into sight, so let's just try and bait it out, and try to go for that coordinator retake, which really worked out well for them. They also have Kensix on the Cypher here, so that's some additional information. They have the camera, they have those tripwires. I think if Kensix had a better gun, they would have been a 4v5 right off the bat, because you did see that spray coming through through and doing quite a bit of damage. But talking about the attackers, I do like that once they got the spike down, they managed to get into a semblance of decent post-plant positioning. Just a little bit too aggressive, and they couldn't deal with the onslaught of utility coming through. But aside from that, it was still really good. Right now, though, they're going to be going in for this A hit right now. They're going to be swinging off that stun. Lelouch finding two. Bruno as well, getting one of their own. With that crossfire being almost immaculate, these last two players are going to be stuck towards the main yet again. And you can already see Killer Croc going in for some ultra forming and a really quick flank right now.
Yeah, incredibly quick flank. Will take the opportunity to get 1 and 2. That is one and done. Everything that you need to be seeing is by this Brimstone. And if they can keep that kind of momentum, I think that we might just see another game now taken desperately back. However, still an attack-sided map. We do have a lot of ultimates built up. You have everything that you need if you're the Killjoy, if you are the Fade. This is the kind of gameplay that is crucial for them to be able to rock it around. And I'm really hoping that with those ultimates, we might be able to see a counterplay build up soon, especially since Killer Cropped, for example, on that defense does have the orbital strike to get rid of that lockdown.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up because it seems like they've been waiting for it right now. You did see them getting that ultra up in the last shot, but right now they're expecting this Killjoy of lockdown, and off the back of it, they're going to be having like a 3% push down towards the main. In fact, it's going to be a flawless coming in as Ethan tries to come back around, but XW is more than ready for it. They expected the lockdown play there, Edu, and they were like more than ready for it. They just went for it. A lot of stuns, flashes, everything being thrown at the attackers, and who wasn't ready? The attackers, because they did not expect to be put on the spot like that. And just like that, it's going to be afforded to a huge lead right now for the side of USSC, and they're really building up the momentum, so it's looking a bit rough.
Yeah, definitely looking rough here. And I really expected some ultimates to come out, but the round ended quicker than it actually took to start. I mean, you have a 30-second buy period, and it was over before that, but now we're seeing things now a little bit taken back, taken slowly. Lelouch has been punished for that kind of aggression, and I like that LF8 can bring that to the table, but EggW here will just be able to buy some time. And the Zip is already on the way, but this is a low team. And finally, we're seeing the ultimates now coming around. The Nightfall is going to be falling all across the B site, and they're also going to rock the run and gun Rolling Thunder. Oh, there's the ultimate, and there's the combo to push them into it. But I'm not sure that it's going to connect too much. It will manage to take out the lockdown, and all of those ults by the attackers are now gone. They have to rely on their aim if they want to win this game.
Oh, a really good start by Bully, but it's going to be Chem6 and XW trading back. It's all done just 1v1 right now, the Cypher versus the Fade. No, the Bullet would have to reload at the worst time, and Bloomy will fully capitalize on that one bullet away from their demise. You can see some of the players going for a little oopsie in the chat. An awkward moment, looking at the enemy. You have them in your crosshairs, you have your crosshair chain on their head, but you don't have bullets. RIP. But that's going to be a great round coming through. A very, very expensive one, though, for the attackers, because they invested 3 ultimates, if I'm not wrong, just to get onto that site. You did, however, see the counter ults coming through as well, so it's a 2 for 3. That's not too bad, considering all things. Right now, though, the economy is still going to be in a decent place. A little bit awkward, because you did see quite a few players go down, so not quite going to be able to totally buy up. Again, it's going to be some early aggression towards this job area. This time they're pushing up instead of just waiting. LF8 are willing to take that space early on.
Yeah, and they might be able to. I do like that space taking as the potential that we have, and they're already ready to do it. Defense has been taking an insane amount of early space, and they're ready for it, though. Lelouch, they know that they're at an advantage with weapons, will be able to help out Bruno, get a double, make it a triple, and the spike is now down. This is what you need to be seeing. But hopefully, we can see these attackers pick up the pace from this A site. It's going to be Bloomy up close, forced out, on fire, 3 HP, barely able to walk away. And now, a 2 versus 4. Zoc, this is not the position you want to be in. Looks like the spawns have flipped here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it seems like Elevator pulling off a Defender cosplay here. They're doing it quite well as they sit in spawn. I think at this point they're doing a Defender cosplay better than the actual Defenders. Aside for camera on site, it's gonna be Bloomy who hears it. Well, I think that breaking that is gonna be some information as well already. You can see that they managed to make their way back to the spawn. Bloomy hitting an insane shot though onto Bruno. The 1-for-1 trade there, and now it's suddenly looking a little bit more doable. A 2v3, even if one player is low, it's still something that's viable. They know the position of both these players right now, and XW is gonna be trying to get some early space, pushing up a little bit, not spotted by the Haunts, and he's in this really ratty corner here, not quite getting checked, and it's all down to just the low next to the shot. But yeah, there's to get my spike and plant it. It might be better to just try to save the strike for here. So the players coming above and just they know that it's like if they come from the door, it's over. So they're just gonna be like getting out there and trying to desperately keep this weapon, which Lelouch is not gonna let happen. Lelouch just is like, look guys, we have some money, let's just go take everything down. That was like a bit of a half buy round though, so it's not too bad. They are gonna be able to afford to buy. Oh, never mind. They had like a really weird buy. But yeah, it's gonna be a awkward buy. You do see two players being able to afford rifles, but the rest of them, it's gonna be sheriffs, the bulldog of all things. So not quite looking good. No ultimates either to work with. And talking about ultimates, the one that I've seen being online for a while that has not been used because there just hasn't been a need for it is that overdrive from Lelouch. I don't know if you were watching yesterday's games either, but every single time when Neon pulled out the overdrive, they got like a 3K or a 4K. So I'm hoping to see something of that caliber here.
Yeah, definitely hoping to see something a little bit different coming out. That caliber is, you know, crucial, but look at what we have. Ultimates on the side of defense, nothing on the side of attack. They do, however, have two rifles, and two rifles might just be good enough here. I don't understand why they're fully buying when their team can't, not really leveling out the playing field for their team, only leveling it out if they barely get some picks here. But Killer Cropped, he's that guy. Pixel perfect peek onto Bloomy. Taheen is going to get the trade. Lelouch now up close and personal, wants to make it now too, to make their player's death worth it. However, these attackers don't care. They want that A site, and if they're going to want it, they're going to take it, and they're going to take it fast. So let's see how they can actually deal against players like Ken6, who is spotting all that util getting thrown around and has to just get it.
I think that the chip points are going to be placed for a possible retake setup. Lelouch on the flank as well, able to find one already, sliding into the DMs, getting to second and third to the food. It's all just the killjoy here, manages to find one, but Ken6 is more than ready for the trade. And of course, again, just the fact that Lelouch on that quick flank right off the bat knew that they were going to be going towards that A side, had all the information in the world. Killjoy's facility was out of range as well, and he picked his moment. He saw his chance, and he took it to boot. 3 kills off the round for him. Again, the economy not quite in a great spot for LFA. I think that they should hopefully go in for an eco. They do have some ultimates to work with. Both that Showstopper and the Lockdown are online. That might work. I think we're seeing a little bit of a disconnection here. But, you know, this map is already way closer than its predecessor. But again, it's the precedent, right? You let a team like USSC get like so many rounds in quick succession. They're really going to have the momentum, and it's going to be super difficult to stall, especially Lelouch. Like, he was a beast on the jet, but on Neon, he looks even more scary.
Yeah, incredibly scary here, and it's working out for them. As long as they keep it going, they can maybe keep this game completely in their wraps here. And it's going to be tough, but I don't think they've ever had an issue with it. I do like what we're seeing from these attacks. They are pulling out any real gun that they can afford every single time. This is a semi-buy, half eco, as you want to call it, and they're going to need to try to get at least one or two of these guns out. But with all of these players now working around, with the PC crash happening from one, it's going to be pretty tough. And that is, of course, on the side of LF8. So not exactly perfect. It's Taheen, their top frag. So you can't risk having one of your best players in this game not be here, especially when you're already down one game in a best of 3.
I could barely hear you through this chaos going down on the site. Yeah, they're just going for it. Thank you so much, Observer, for saving our ears. Yeah, they're just trying to make as much noise as they can, which they've already been doing, considering how the last game went. But either way, it's just going to be two friends messing around on that ace side. But, you know, talking about how the defenders are playing this, like, I love it, because personally, I feel like on Fracture, the best strategy to be able to win is to attack no matter what side you're on, because when you have 4 lanes, you really have to try and get that early information, try to get some map control, because odds are that if you're taking one there, the opponents are going to be pushing another anyway. So either you get the drop on them, which is good, or you have some information, which is also good. So either way, I just feel like it's incredibly like difficult to manage that in like coherence. It's like the thing that teams really have to like strive to do. Again, that's going to be Lelouch starting things off with a banger here. Even though they're sucking, it's going to be the eco run coming through. Like I said, Bloomy though will connect that headshot. Tries to get the second, but unfortunately not quite able to do that. Only 2 players remaining. Taheen though will get that headshot, so that's huge.
Yeah, huge headshot here, but obviously this is that eco round. They don't have the best kind of weapons, and they are pinched between Killer Crops and this player Egg. But Taheen, beautiful pick, able to take out one. You know, check his PC, just disconnected, came back and got a flick like that. That's what we want to be seeing. But let's see it, Taheen. Does he have any idea? Nice inspect of your knife. Now you can bury it with the rest of your guns. That's the kind of player that you want to be seeing. It's a team ace by the defense. And now we are looking at 2 rounds in this half remaining.
if they can close it, if you know, the attackers can close it off at 7-5, they're still not doing too bad. This shot is something that they definitely have to win. They have they're equipped with everything they need. They have their full buy. They have 4 ultimates on the line. European strike on the brimstone. They can lock down as well for a free B side take. All of this is gonna be pretty like incremental in doing it. You also see Lelouch has picked up that upgrade on that operator here, and you know you only saw him like really play towards the last like 3 rounds of Icebox, but the moment he got it, he was having like so much impact. It's gonna be that early smoke right now as they try to deter the players from pushing forward and getting that lockdown into place on the site. I think they're still going to be trying to navigate through it, despite the fact that it's there, considering that they have like 2 initiators ready to help with it. They have made their way onto the site, onto the spot where the lockdown does go down. There's still a site for Cam though, and I think these trips, they're both there for like getting kills while you're still in spawn, so it's still going to be pretty useful. So 5 players on both sides still alive. It's been only 20 seconds in the round, and once that lockdown has been invested, or they might choose not to invest it, they're just walking back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, walking it back, taking it slow, kind of what you need to do. And Lelouch, though, you know, take your time. Walk to me. Come on. Put your legs to work and get right in front of my crosshair. That's what Lelouch is thinking. This player is 11-5 right now and wants to make sure that they seal the deal here. This is who you want on the top of the scoreboard. And I think Lelouch is ready to rock it, ready to roll, but making all that noise. Ethan's ready to swing it, beautifully timed. But that's an ultimate. They're listening for it. And that's one. But the counter pull. But they don't even have to peek it. It's not going to connect. But oh, what is this ultimate coming from the other side? It's Killer Crop being able to take out Ethan. And from the side, Lelouch is going to get gunned down by Saki. And Bruno needs him out, making some work. There's one. Will not be able to pick up the pick, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-on-3, but these players are just stuck towards spawn right now. Bloomy taking a lot of damage in the process. Yeah, it's going to be him caught in the open as Killer Crops is trying to lock it down. 15 seconds left, like it said. Not much time to try and get the spike online. And with the economy being the shambles that it is and how low these 2 players are, it might be just better for them to hold on to whatever weapons they can. Bloomy seems to have the right idea as they take the zip line and just book it away. Oof, Killer Crops almost got that second kill as well. So he's like, no, I want nothing to do with that. Please leave me alone. They are going to be still having all of those ultimates available for this round. A bit of a broken buy, but still they could make it work. But, you know, talking about the defenders there, they got so much time with that smokes. And, of course, just that massive play towards spawn, you know, where, you know, you saw the breach ult coming in, the, you know, brimstone ultimate as well. Just catching these players and grinding them between a rock and a hard place, making, I don't know, toast powder. What do you call it when you crush someone and burn them at the same time? But, yeah, it was like a really... They were cooking, bro. They were cooking.
Oh, they were cooking up here, and with the way that these players are getting jittery, might be cooking up some illegal substances, because this is some fire gameplay coming around. But honestly, 3 ultimates both sides. You do have the counter. You have what you need. You have the first time lockdown that isn't going to get shut down as long as we can see Taheen pop that around. But if they play like this, they can just push right through and make sure that that Killjoy will not be able to pop their ultimate. But look at this. The blind, led by the charge, is going to be able to connect a lot of dots, a lot of shots, and make these players slowed, blind, and not able to react fast enough. But Saki is going to be that guy, get that 1 pick on a Ken 6, and now they have to get a point. This is the round that they need. If they can get it to 8-4, it is a very winnable round, especially with how defensive this team comp is.
Yeah, I think that Breach also has the spike, so they definitely plan for it. They will have that Rolling Thunder online after the spike goes down. The lockdown as well, making things even more difficult. You do see Killer Croc trying to push out a little bit, get a little bit spicy and dicey there, but unfortunately not gonna be able to find anything. 3 players left alive to try and make this retake work right now. They don't really have any ultimates left either. With the help of that Trailblazer, they're gonna be able to spot out the position of this player. Down there, Bruno will get that kill, and immediately when things turn around, that's gonna be the overdrive as well to try and make things worse here. Will be concussed though, and it's gonna again slow things down. All they have to do is buy enough time. They have so much utility available to try and win this round. With these 3 players towards main, Bully is gonna be the first one to fall. All they have to do is wait for the orbital strike. Saki is all the way back here. Doesn't want anything to do with the side here. Taheen as well, pushing forward, being able to be a constant menace right now. They get all the kills, but there's gonna be no time, so that's gonna be a W, because you know you might not be able to take down your enemy with the help of your rifles, but hey, if you can make sure the spike goes off, that's still a huge win, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, and that's, as you said, exactly what they did. Got it to 8-4 as well, and I kind of hit on it just a little bit. 8-4 is definitely winnable. It's not like a 9-3, but again, the team that we just saw on the attack there was or on the defense was not a very defensive style team comp, especially with the Neon. They're able to just run and gun, rush this in. I think Cypher, yes, slightly more defense heavy, but the way that Kensix plays it is incredibly aggressive. So I don't think that the traditional agent roles when you're talking about the team of UNSC Gold is the same. They're ready to rock this and they want to be taking it away from LF8, and LF8, they're desperate to try to get this into a game 3.
Yeah, it would be nice if they could push it through, considering that over the last few days we haven't seen Pearl at all really coming through. But yeah, it's going to be some early aggression onto this B side here. Paint Chills will isolate Lelouch from the rest of the team here. Doesn't matter though, he's still going to be pushing forward, persevering. A beautiful chain of utility combos onto a place where there's nobody really there. It's going to be looking like a full 5-on-5 retake right now. As they make their run to site, it is going to be XW having taken a lot of damage to the utility, being randomly used. A straight shot through the smoke, doing some damage to as well. And Kensix in the meantime finding incredible value. I have no idea what went down. I just saw the minimap. Everybody was staring at each other, and suddenly it's a W for the side of the attackers. That was I have no idea what went down. I'll be honest.
What happened there was they all kind of just grouped up and got punished by everybody. They were being hit from arcade, site, main, anywhere that a bullet could be shot from, it was shot, and they were all grouped up in the same exact spot right outside a generator. So if you're going to be grouped up like that, you're going to have to remember that just because you're in a pack does not mean that you have a bonus amount of HP. You don't have that herd mentality. You have no herd immunity, only death. But let's see it. Lelouch up close and personal with the Spectre, looking for one, is able to get out Saki. Unsure why he bought the Spectre. That thing got nerfed. It's broke. It's expensive, and it's not working for him. Bully is going to go down yet again, and this is yet another site that has been taken by these players.
It's just the difference that you see when it comes to attacking for both of these teams. You know, a team like compared to how the Neon is leading the charge here, we would see the same value really coming out from Ethan on the Raze, in my opinion. But yeah, a bit unfortunate. 3 players left alive right now for them to try and make the retake work. I think that they did force up here, so they definitely have to try and capitalize on this round. However, it does seem like it's not going to be happening if Flawless comes through. And again, it's going to be just Lelouch and Bruno popping off. The Neon is so good on Fracture because just for utility, it seems like it's tailored for the maps, whether it's that wall that really lets you walk onto site, the stuns as well that she can find incredible value off, and of course the combinations that you can pull with like the Breach or a KO or Fade or whichever like initiator running, but especially the Breach, you can take so much space for free, and I feel like Lelouch is fully exploiting that right now.
Yeah, completely exploiting it and just taking this by storm. I think if they keep that going, it is going to be a pretty easy round for them to try to seal the deal and end this round. But this is the buy coming around from the team. Just kidding. The defense deciding to full buy last round has caused them to be completely broke. These guys are now fish inside of a barrel, and that barrel is the B side. But it looks like Saki is going to bite back, getting a nice clean pick before traded. But what is that from Lelouch? Looking down on these enemies, figuratively and literally, with another kill. It's just going to be Taheen. Nice classic, but you're not in a great position to try to clutch it. Look to your left. Bye-bye.
Oh no, they're just running roughshod over them right now. It's just like the thing about Fracture is that if you're not careful on defense, you're gonna be the one pincered in, and that's exactly what happened. It's been consistently happening. You know, Kensix comes from the other side. You don't see the Neon pushing in from main, and of course all the utility that's being spammed to create that space. It's just there's just nothing you can really do against it, unless of course you manage to like save up enough for an operator on lane or get aggressive on your own. I would like to see some combinations coming out from the Fade, Raze, or the Breach. Like they have 2 initiators. You can probably do better. It seems like they've heard me. They are going to be going in for a bit of an early pick. This is their last chance, arguably, to try and make this map not end in shambles. This is going to be their buy coming through. They're going to be taking some presence towards towards arcade, but unfortunately not quite able to do much as everybody seems to be coming in through main instead. The C's Paint Chills off the mark, unfortunately, and just like that, in the first 10 seconds already, you see a player fall.
Yeah, and wow, what a pick though, and that is going to be Ethan. Able to grab the pick onto 1, but the trades are coming out and the bullets are flying, but this is what we're seeing. Bully being the bullet master, able to get yet another, but it's 2 versus 2, and these are the one taps flowing from these players yet again. But Bully just knows how to be aggressive, but he's kind of getting spooked here. He could have stuck it. See this. Oh
no.
That's match point. They needed Bully to clutch that for them, and Bully really did try to bring it. It's definitely a beautiful attempt there, you know, but at the end of the day, you have to be better, and these players are being the best. That's what we're seeing here, and I think this is just kind of hard if you were on the side of the defenders here.
Yeah, they're not having a good time. They're just being like they're not being run over by like the wrecking ball that is the side of the attackers right now. The Neon in particular just running into side every round. They're forced to play for retakes and they already lose a player by the time they have to try to retake. Again, it's gonna be a really quick hit onto this A side. They're gonna be trying to go for some savage action this time, but Saki is gonna be good for one, maybe good for two, with the help of Bully, who does manage to help out. Pulls out the gun at the wrong time though. It's gonna be Bruno finally finding a kill. They still holding on to stand control here. It's a beautiful headshot onto Ethan there. It's all down to this last player right now. Lumi is getting into this particular position. Only a bullseye left to their name. Does manage to get it's gonna be pinned in by this Rimsa utility on both sides. Has to get the kill, just connect the first shot, and now it's gonna come down to a 1v1. Ken6, we saw them pop off and clutch the round for their team the last time around. Can Bloomy do the same? It's gonna be the Cypher in a super ratty angle here. A 1v1. Everything on the line here for both of these teams. The Han not gonna spot Kenzie either, and that's gonna be 13-4. That's gonna be map number 2 gone in the favor of this team, and they pull it off almost flawlessly. Wow.
Yeah, almost flawlessly. Definitely a statement. We did just see them nearly flawless, 13-1 on Icebox. Then they gave a few rounds early. We did see 4 times as good as the previous game. You have to remember that team just got themselves 4 times better in a little bit of things. Quick math is all you need, but we need to see some quick math in how these players' kills are adding up, because it unfortunately seems to have been a stomp by UCSC. But however, we are going to see a much better play from this team of LF8. I know that they have it in them. I've seen them compete pretty well. It just takes a little bit of time. Get yourself together, work it out, and I think it always just comes down, Ethan, you are that fragger. You are that duelist. Get yourself through those points. Get those picks. Because when we saw Ethan actually moving forward and not being afraid to push up, he was getting those trades. But the second you allow a team like UCSC Gold be able to be aggressive, they will take you by storm. And I think that's really what it came down to. But, you know, any final thoughts coming out from my wonderful co-caster, Zoc? How are you feeling?
I feel very blown away by how well UCSC Gold is playing, and of course, I like that you brought up that point about Ethan, because it just felt like he was struggling a lot. You know, in that, for example, on Fracture, you barely saw him satcheling in or using that boom bot or anything. And again, just a difference in the setups, right? Like if the Neon on the side of the attackers wanted to push, you saw the breach then come through, you saw the cages come through, smoke, small D's, everything to back them up. I just felt like Ethan, despite him not going forward, didn't have the same support either. So perhaps it's just I still feel like it comes down to team coordination more than anything else, because you know, you did see a lot of head-on fights where it was like a 50-50 and they actually won them, but just that there was no team coordination.
Yeah, you're 100% right. The team coordination was down in the dumps. However, the defense of that game did a clean job. UCSC Gold, an amazing player for us today. However, I do want to talk to that team. I want to talk to some of their star players. Let's talk to Killer Crop. He is, of course, one of the best players there, being able to use that utility and keep his team's head together. So let's drag in Killer Crop here, get an interview going, and make sure that we have some fun, as we are going to be wanting to talk to this player. And, anytime that we get them in, we'll be able to just have some fun. And it looks like, sounds like they're already in the chat here. So, let's say hi to them. Killer Crop, are you wanting to do anything on camera today or just microphone?
I'll do just microphone.
Perfect. So that means we could get started right now. Zoc, I want you to take it away. Ask any question you can for this control carrier here.
All right, so the first question, the most obvious one, how are you guys feeling after the win? What did you know about your opponents heading in, and were you like, what was that place out, guys? You guys were so aggressive. Was it like pre-planned, or did it just come through after you guys started winning?
We've been a team together for quite a while now, so when we saw the ranks a bit, we decided, we can play aggressive here, have fun. We played a tournament before this, and so everyone's pretty warmed up, so I just want to make sure the team had fun here.
Yeah, you guys definitely seemed like you were having fun. So Icebox, 13-1, absolutely dominating performance. What do you attribute that to, apart from, of course, everybody just popping off and getting kills?
Honestly, I believe Icebox, our performance is due to our double duelists being able to play together on A site on defense, making sure we hold off that deny them information on both A and B, which allowing our players to hold tighter angles, which they can get one and done and get out.
Yeah, we noticed that. Like, you guys seem really well coordinated across the entire map, and I think this is gonna be the last question from me. If there was one thing that you guys think you can improve over the course of this map, I know you guys played phenomenally, a really dominant victory, but if there's one thing that you think you need to improve as a team, what is that?
Uh, I think one thing we could improve is just having more set plays on defense to be able to, push down or also on attack. Just having set plays that we can do instead of calling something on the spot. So, yeah.
All right, thank you. I think that's about my questions, but Michael Castro, I'm pretty sure he has a lot because he was super excited to have you in here.
Yep. It's good to see you're here, Killer Crops. But let me ask you, this is a question. Even though you guys absolutely popped off, is there anything you regret doing? Is there any play that was like, oh, that was a mistake, or were you guys pretty confident in every action you chose? Because as you put it, your team was kind of working with improv skills there, definitely going with the flow, picking up the pace of how it is, not exactly set in stone, but moving along with it. So, any plays that just didn't work out that you aren't really happy about, what could you do different? Those kind of stuff.
I guess it would be our one round we lost on Icebox where we had two people pushed up. It was a miscommunication there where one player thought they were holding one angle for them, but in reality they weren't. And so that's why we lost B side on Icebox. And then on Fracture, I believe on defense, the pistol round, also miscommunication where we pushed sewer. I would have rather not push sewer that round. And then we could play it on site. Ended up costing us the pistol round.
Yeah. And, that absolutely makes sense because even if you guys did a dominant game here, only losing 5 rounds in a best of 3, that's the kind of stuff that we want to be seeing here. You still have to sit down, ask yourself, what could we have done better? And I love how you pointed out the first thing that came to mind was the fact that you lost the only round you lost in Icebox. And, that definitely tells me about, how your team deals with confidence. I've been casting UCS Gold for quite some time, as you do know. So it's always nice to see how you guys have developed. And I can honestly say you've been playing here at IGLeague for quite some time, and every time you just keep getting better. So as long as you keep that mentality going and keeping it up, I can see you guys going even farther in this 3K division. But my question that I asked the last team, are you thinking that anybody here should be worried about UCSC Gold being on the enemy a part of the bracket? Like, do you guys think that you should be the consistently bringing the energy?
I want to shout out, I'll say, W for bringing in the energy. He's always keeping the team together and making sure everyone's having fun. So I want to shout him out for the work he puts in, and the team in general too. Everyone performed really well today. Comms were good, so felt great.
Perfect. Yeah, if you anytime I hear a player say it felt great, us as casters we could tell because you guys were just so coherent with it, smoothing around and just doing all the damage as possible. But I guess that is all the questions that I have. Is there anything that you would like to say before we let you go here today, Killer Cropped?
Appreciate you for having me here.
Perfect.
Look
And
forward to more games.
yeah, and we definitely appreciate
are
watching
too.
you guys and appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, post-match interview aside, and being able to not only compete properly well, but also be able to, sit down and represent your team as great as you do. So thank you so much for being here, and we hope that you have a great day. And maybe next time we watch you, you'll be at the top of the leaderboard 18 times or so.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being. And now let's talk about what's going to happen next here. Obviously, no more games for today here, Zoc, and makes me sad because I always love casting with you.
Oh, I'm sure that Hydro will get us back together next week sometime. But yeah, I love casting with you too. And today was a lot of fun. We always seem to get like these really quick stop games. It's like they don't want us to work together more.
Yeah, it's like they just don't want us to have fun because that first game was what 20 minutes long before it already was over. Obviously you got to just put props around all across the board for people playing well, but obviously it's outro time. So we're going to be here saying thank you guys for watching IG League TV. If you like watching the streams, make sure to check IG League out on Twitter. Links are definitely going to be in the chat, but also make sure to follow the stream as well because we always bring that energy as our casters here are incredibly good. I love Soren, love Disco, love Zoc being a newer caster here as well. So obviously we really do appreciate everybody who watches. So make sure to check out and lock yourself in. Also, if you want to compete in any of these tournaments, head on over to igleague.com or join the Discord or both. And we always have something new cooking in the background. But Zoc, I think that's all she wrote for today. Where can people find you if they ever want the wonderful Zoc as a caster?
You can go to my Twitter. That's at CAHKRIIBEN. It's quite a mouthful, but I think it's just fine. You can just look for it, you'll get it. And of course, I think all of you know about my wonderful friend here, Edu. It's at Educatinator on Twitter. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. So yeah, show us some love, and of course, show IGLeague some love as well on the socials because it's great that they're having an initiative like this for like the tier 3 or tier 2 Valorant scene. It's been rough. Like having as somebody who lives in EMEA, I can tell you that there are almost no tournaments like this happening, and it's just the entire scene suffering. So huge shout out to IGLeague for actually making something like this come through and giving not just players but also like casters more opportunities. So yeah, I love working here.
Yeah, it's always fun here. Also, shout out to our wonderful observer of the day, Frez is here. If you want to check out what Frezes do, join the Discord, shoot him a DM. Always be okay to DM our observer. He's always available to talk to people. And since he can't say anything right now, he can't argue against that. But obviously, you can also make sure to follow Hydra. He's our producer as well. But if you want to check out me for casting, as Zoc said, it's going to be at Educatinator, EDUCATONATOR. I'm also pretty big other places, but I want you guys to be pretty big at night today, as we are going to be calling it a night. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And also, good morning from Zoc, I guess, since what time is it for you right now?
It is 4:20 almost.
4:20 in the morning. All right. And that's what is always fun about having international stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, I was casting
At 5 a.m., right?
I was casting EUCS this morning at like 5 a.m. So I'm in the same boat. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
You are